So today we're going to be doing a review and kind of a tutorial on one of my favorite workbenches for the shop. So this is the 2x4 Basics from Amazon. It is a workbench kit. And what I mean by that is that it takes a lot of the headache of trying to build the perfect workbench. If you're not good at like carpentry, this is a great solution for you and for me too, because I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. I don't want to waste too much time building a workbench. I want it to be as easy as possible, and I want to use only the tools that I know how to use, which is like a drill, you know, circular saw, tape measure, and just keep it super simple. I've already built 2 of these and they're already in my shop already, but I need 1 more, and this one's going to be a smaller one, but that's the great thing about this kit, is that you can configure it any way that you want. So you can cut it, make it super long, you can make it half that size. It rests at about 35 inches tall, which is just fine for me. You could put it up on some kind of a booster box if you really needed a high workbench, and it's super strong and super easy to put together. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'll show you the parts and then we'll put it together and we'll give it a rundown and see how it goes. All right, so here's what comes in the kit. This is the 2x4 Basic, and I'll put the link in the description of the video on where you can get this. I think it was, you know, around $90-ish. Depends, it kind of fluctuates in price. Price kind of goes up and down depending if they're doing a sale. But the one thing that does not come with this kit is the wood. So I actually just came back from Home Depot and I got this 4x8 sheet of wood, which is maple, and it's sanded. Now that's really important for me because you can just use regular old plywood, but it's a workbench and I need it to be semi-smooth, and I really don't want to be sanding and finishing and all that stuff. I just want a nice smooth surface, and I really like this maple from Home Depot. Here's the thing from it. It's pure bonded maple, so the maple's bonded on top, but it's just plywood, but it's got this nice sanded finish, and that's what I'm going to actually use for my workbench top. And then I also got some just good old 2x4s because you'll need those too. The wood does not come with this kit, so just be aware of that. What it does come with is 4 super tough plastic legs that we're going to cut and mount everything to, basically the 4 corners of the workbench, which is like huge, and it's super strong. It comes with pre-drilled holes so you can put your screws in, and it also comes with these other kind of tabletop mounts. So if you want to add like hey, so here's the instructions. So if you want to add like a little backrest on your workbench, I don't know if you can see that right there. If you want to add like a little shelf back there, you can add shelves. You can do all kinds of stuff with. Look at how they're stacking them up here. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So super universal kit, super easy to put together, which I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. You know, it comes with all the hardware. The only thing it doesn't come with is the wood and some tools. And the only tools I'm going to be using is that drill, that circular saw, and that tape measure, and the pencil in my ear. So we're going to see what we can do here and put together a 4-foot by 4-foot workbench. That's what I need to build for my shop, but you could build a 4x8 workbench, you could build a 2x6 workbench, because the beauty of these things is that you can cut your tabletop to whatever size you need and then just use the legs on the corners. And so you really can configure your workbench any way you want. I just like the 4x4 because I have some equipment that's going to go on it that's perfect size, and I already have 2 4x8 workbenches in my shop, so I don't need another one of those, and I don't really have the space. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to cut out of this 4x8 piece of plywood. I'm going to cut it in half, and that's going to be my tabletop. Then I'm going to cut the frame around the top and around the bottom, and I'm actually going to leave the front of my workbench open because I like to store stuff underneath it, but that's just what I like. So enough about that. This is what comes in the kit. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's start putting stuff together. So I got all the wood cut, and man, I just got to tell you, it is hot as here. I'm in Georgia right now in the summertime, and man, did I pick a hot day to do this video or what, dude? I have like gone inside and wiped off like a few times. But ooh, folks, stay safe out there. If you're in this summer heat right now, make sure you drink lots of water, like my wife always says, and stay hydrated because it is hot. Anyway, let's get back to it. So listen, I got all the 2x4s cut. Remember, I'm making a 48-inch by 40-inch top, or 4 foot by 4 foot top. So I got all my pieces cut. I got my bottom and my top. I just basically cut that 4x8 sheet in half. I got 2 legs left, and I got some extra 2x4s in case I wanted to screw around with that later. So now we're on to the drilling part. So with the drilling part, it's kind of tricky because in the instructions they tell you to lay your one side down and get the 2x4s in there, and then they've got these nice screw holes already pre-drilled, so it tells you right where to put the screws. You can see those there. But the trick is you've got to do one. You've got to get it started. Maybe have something like a bench to hold it up while you get those 2 screws started. And as you go along, it will become more stable on its own. But these first screws that you put in on one side are definitely kind of tricky. So let's go ahead and give that a whirl and see how that goes. See, this is a product review, but I'm just doing things like I normally do things, just to get started here. So I guess you could just hold that first one at an angle right there. Maybe get one tapped in there. Could even like use your little workbench. Want to kind of hold that, make sure that's flush right here. Press that up, put it all the way in the corner. Grab your screw. Get it. Right there. All right, now I have some form of stability, and then there's 3 more on each one. Let's see. And like I said, I'm just making sure that we're flush, Two more. Okay, so now we'll do the rest of it, and I'll just continue on all the way around, and we'll speed up the process and see how it goes. That is not too shabby, folks, not too shabby. So now we just got to get the top on. And you'll notice during the build that I took a moment to fit the bottom in before I sealed it up. That's important because you're not going to get the lower shelf in after you put the whole frame together. So you want to make sure that you stop with your frame building, just slip that in there. And that's not even screwed down yet, and either is this, clearly, but let's go ahead and just slide it up on top. See if we did our measuring right. And there it is. It just locks into place. And that is how you build a 4-foot by 4-foot workbench with the 2x4 basic workbench kit. It's really that easy. So the last part is you got these other screws that came with it, which are the tabletop screws. And these are, you know, however you want to drill down your tabletop, however many screws you want to do, tons of them. I don't even know how many screws are in there, but these are great for screwing down the tabletop. You know, it would actually be kind of cool if I do have any drawbacks to this kit. Like I said, I've bought a few of these before. I've already built 2 of these. If I had to make a suggestion, I would say that these screws should be just a scotch, you know, maybe a 1/4 inch longer, just to sink a little bit further into the 2x4 that's underneath. They make it, but just enough, you know. So if you guys are watching out there and make this kit, maybe you include a little bit longer tabletop screws. All right, so I'm just going to start with one right here in the corner. In this corner. And maybe one like in the middle-ish. And that's all she wrote, folks. Hey, if you like this review, don't forget to give a like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what you think you would use this workbench for in your shop. This has been the review of the 2x4 Basics from Amazon, building a 4x4 workbench in the hot Georgia summer. See you next time.